Hello kids, I hope you're all doing well, and in our continuation of this series, that is Learning from CLAT 2025, this is your mentor Riddhi, and in today's session we will be discussing current affairs including the general knowledge. Now when I try to talk about this session, there's a lot that has been changed. At the same time, over the years we have seen that there has been a consistency in the pattern. But what is this consistency? It is a little different from the regular mindset or the regular changes that we could see in the last up till last 2 years. Now talking about the same, let's try to understand this and let's try to cover the section. Now talking about our session flow, what could we see? There were key insights from the current affairs that included what? The general knowledge of 2024. Now these will be the discussions that we will be doing in today's session. Similarly, you have your lessons learned from the current affairs, which is including the general knowledge of this year's CLAT examination. And finally, the focus areas. How should we prepare for our CLAT 26? Precisely this session, the videos will actually help for all the aspirants for CLAT 2026. So, in the first two segments, we will be discussing what all had happened in the CLAT 25, and then finally, how are you supposed to start this journey of CLAT 26? I'm pretty sure a lot of you have already started it. So if you have already started this journey, how are you supposed to enhance it? So let's get into it. Let's try to understand. Now the key insights of this session, what we could see, direct questions. The questions were direct. Of course, some of them were a little tricky. That is something that I would accept, but there were quite a lot of questions that were actually direct in nature. Similarly, 90% of the topics that we had actually shared with you all in the important PDF document, you got 90% of your topics from that itself. Similarly, the passages actually had answers mentioned in it. So which tells us that in the coming months, in the coming days and in the coming examinations, we must keep this in mind and make it a point that we are going through the passage as well. Next, what we could see, something change, hai na? See, asking author's idea. So a passage based on 106th constitutional amendment, which is with regards to Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Now the same document, same understanding of this passage, we could see that there was something beyond our ambit or beyond the understanding of general knowledge or current affairs, that they asked author's ideas. So that was one change that we could see. Similarly, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act had quite a lot of static questions. Okay, now we will dig in a little deeper and try to understand this as well. The topics that were covered in the session this year, we could see 5 passages. Now what are these 5 passages? Number 1, BRICS Summit. So India-China relations was discussed. Why? Because we could see that there now what we are trying to do, demilitarization, which is we are reducing our military that has been appointed at these regions. So if you remember in one of my current affairs videos as well, I had mentioned with regards to this, understanding the same. And then BRICS, what we did is, there was a passage with regards to the similar lines. Then you had a passage with regards to civil disobedience movement. Now this directly came from your NCERT book. Okay, keep that in mind, because in the coming slides we will be discussing that as well. Next is what? Passage 306 Constitutional Amendment Act, something that I just discussed with you all with regards to Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. But the passage or the basically the act or whatever was mentioned went a little beyond the amendment only. Okay. Similarly, passage 4, Jammu and Kashmir's Reorganization Act of 2019. Okay. Likewise, finally, the last one, which was with regards to Paris Olympics. Now, a lot of you must have thought that the whole controversy that was with regards to Paris Olympics, that must have been asked, but no, nothing of that sort was asked. Quite a lot of constructive and static information was discussed. So keep those things in mind. Why? Because now we will be understanding the lessons that we have learned in this examination. Not only in this examination, but a trend that we could see in the last 2 examinations, so that we understand the same things and keep ourselves prepared for the upcoming exam. Now, what do we mean by this? There is a mix of topics, current as well as static, that will always be there. So don't be in the mindset that only current affairs would be the right approach to the examination. No, you must be prepared for static as well. Similarly, studying social sciences till 10th, as you can see, over the years we have seen NCERT passages, NCERT passage, similarly passages that have come from the social studies that you've done in your school. So it can be history, geography, social sciences, basics of political science and civics that you study in your school. Don't forget these things, don't forget the topics, don't forget the static information, the information that has remained the same over the years. Don't forget these things, and in case you have, you need to revise it. So that is something that we could see that they are asking. Likewise, one more thing that I would like to add over here is the anniversary. So if you see, this year we celebrated the 5th anniversary of what Jammu and Kashmir's Reorganization Act of 2019. That is one reason why a passage with regards to that can also potentially come in. So remember these events. 0, that is the first year anniversary, or maybe the 5th year anniversary, 10th year, 15th year, 50th year, 25th year, 75th year, 100 year, 150 year, events that are recurring in nature. Similarly, second last what I want to discuss with you all would be reading newspaper isn't enough. What do I mean by this? Only reading newspaper will not suffice the purpose of what we are trying to say over here, that is with regards to your current affairs section, which means that we need to go beyond newspaper. Of course, newspaper helps in understanding one major element, that is what is going on in and around the world. But will that be enough? No, because from an exam perspective, they are asking a little more than that. So it is always better to be prepared for everything. So go beyond newspaper. Similarly, the last lesson that we could learn over here is reading passage is important, because we could see that quite a lot of questions were asked via the passage itself. Up till last year, the idea was such that, even if you don't read a passage, or if you just skim through the passage for current affairs GK, you're good to go. Because the questions that will be asked, you'll be able to answer it. Now the scenario is such, either author's idea, or maybe the answers are directly given in the passage. So it is always a benefit, it is always good to go through or read the passage in the right manner. Now, when I try to talk about read the passage in the right manner, it is important for us to understand this via these focus areas, because this will help us achieve our goals in the CLAT 26 examination. Now, what do I mean by this? The first one, revising social sciences, as I just told you, go through these books. Please don't be in the hurry to give it to your juniors, or probably, just give it away. Keep those books saved and use them on regular basis. In your daily timetable, include reading these books, include reading these topics, because it will help you a lot. Similarly, go through monthly magazine. We all know for a fact that on your portal, you will regularly find monthly magazine uploaded. And the magazine will not only help you with regards to understanding the content, but will also give you a short test. So the test will actually help you understand how well have you gone through the content of the magazine. So without fail, every month go through the monthly magazine, because that will help you understand the information. Moving on, we could see increase your reading speed. It is very important to go beyond 300 words per minute. Now, why do I say? Of course, it is a little more than the average human reading speed. Why is it? Because you have 120 minutes to solve 120 question, which also includes passages. So it's a very highly compact, at the same time stressful environment that you'll be in at that time. So in understanding the same things, if you have a habit of reading fast, you'll be able to not only read fast, understand the content, and then able to solve it. And you'll have some good time to solve the questions. Next is what? Focus on topics with legal implications, such as Supreme Court judgments, constitutional amendments, and international treaties. In the coming years, or in the last years, what we could see, there are a lot of events that had taken place. On the similar lines, we could see questions or passages with regards to that had come. So similarly, for your upcoming exams as well, the more you prepare in these lines, you'll be at a better position to, uh, attempt and participate in the exam in the right manner. Now the question arises is, how will you be able to solve this? How will you be in a position to get content for this? How will you be in a position to actually understand the current affairs? So what are you worrying for? Don't worry, just quickly scan through these codes or follow us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Similarly, follow us on Instagram and join our Telegram groups. This will actually help you get the monthly, weekly, and many a times daily current affairs updates. So I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care, and all the best.